My name is Ava Bennett, and I'm 31 years old, and my family told me not to come to New Year's Eve. You'll just make everyone uncomfortable. Those were my mother's exact words, delivered calmly over the phone like she was commenting on traffic. Instead of cutting me out of a tradition we'd shared since I was a child, I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just said, "Okay," and hung up. Then I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the wall while the city outside prepared to celebrate without me. That night, I kept the lights off. The TV was muted. I watched fireworks burst through my apartment window like they belonged to a world I wasn't invited into. I told myself I was fine. I told myself I had chosen this. But the truth was, it hurt more than I expected. At exactly 12:15 a.m., my phone rang. It was my brother, Daniel. The moment I answered, I knew something was wrong. His breathing was sharp and uneven, like he'd been running. "Ava," he said, voice shaking. "What did you do?" "Dad just saw the news and now he can't breathe right." Those words hit harder than any insult my family had ever thrown at me. I gripped the kitchen counter. "Slow down," I said. "What news?" But even before he answered, I knew this hadn't come out of nowhere. This had been building for years. To my family, I was the difficult one, the unpredictable one, the daughter who refused to follow the clean, stable blueprint they valued. My parents believed in safe careers, safe lives, predictable outcomes. Daniel followed that script perfectly. Corporate job, marriage by 30, a house in the suburbs. I quit my stable job at 26 and poured everything into building my own company. That's when the comments started. "You're being unrealistic. You think you're smarter than everyone else. You make people uncomfortable with your ideas." Family dinners became interrogations. Every holiday, someone would ask when I planned to get a real job. If I skipped gatherings, I was too proud. If I attended, I was intense and disruptive. By this New Year's Eve, the unspoken resentment finally became clear. Don't come, so I didn't. I toasted midnight barefoot on my kitchen floor with a glass of cheap champagne. No countdown. No hugs, just distant cheers drifting through glass. Then the phone rang. "Ava," Daniel repeated. Dad was watching TV. There was a business segment. "Your company came up. They announced the acquisition. They said your name." He went pale. My heart slowed instead of racing. "What exactly did they say?" I asked. There was a pause. "They said the founder, you, just became a billionaire overnight." The word hung between us. Billionaire. Oh, I slid down to the floor, back against the cabinets. Not because I was shocked. I'd known the acquisition was final, but because of the timing. While my family clinked glasses without me, the world had just forced them to see me differently. I never meant for Dad to find out like that. I said quietly, "That's not the point." Daniel snapped, then softened. "Mom's panicking. Dad keeps asking if it's really you. Call an ambulance," I said immediately. Now, when he hung up, I looked around my apartment. The same apartment my family saw as proof I'd failed. They hadn't seen the sleepless nights, the investor meetings, the fear, the persistence. They hadn't seen the version of me who kept going without applause. I grabbed my coat and keys and stepped into the cold night air. They didn't want me at New Year's Eve. But now my absence and my success was impossible to ignore. By the time I reached my parents' house, flashing red and blue lights painted the driveway. An ambulance sat outside. My mother was crying, repeating my name like it was both an accusation and a plea. Inside, My father sat on the couch with an oxygen mask, his chest rising unevenly. When he saw me, panic flickered in his eyes. "Is it true?" he asked roughly. "What I saw on the news." I nodded once. "Yes." My mother inhaled sharply. "A billionaire?" she whispered. "Overnight," I said. "The paramedics assured us it was a panic attack triggered by shock." After they left, silence settled heavily over the house. "Why didn't you tell us?" my father asked, voice no longer angry, just confused. "I tried," I said. "4 years. Every time I talked about my work, you dismissed it." My brother stared at the floor. "You banned me from tonight," I continued softly. "I spent New Year's alone, and at 12:15, you called because success made you listen." My mother covered her face. "We didn't understand," she said. "That's the problem," I replied. "You never tried to." My father looked smaller than I remembered. "I thought success looked a certain way," he admitted. "I thought if you weren't following our path, you were lost." "I wasn't lost," I said quietly. "I was building." For the first time, they asked real questions. Not to criticize, not to warn, just to understand. And as I answered them, I realized something surprising. Their approval didn't complete me. It didn't fix anything. It just confirmed what I already knew. I had never been wrong. When I stood to leave, my mother reached for my hand. "Next year," she said softly. "Please come." I met her eyes. "We'll see," I replied, because invitations mean nothing if they only arrive after the world validates you. Outside, fireworks debris littered the street. Yesterday's celebration already fading. I sat in my car, watching the sky lighten with dawn. The new year unfolding whether anyone approved or not. And if my story proves anything, it's this. Being excluded doesn't mean you're wrong. Being doubted doesn't mean you'll fail. And sometimes the people who say you make everyone uncomfortable are just uncomfortable watching you outgrow them.